Welcome back to The Future is Bright. We're joined today by a very special guest, Bryan Clauson, who won the Golden Driller Trophy in 2014 for some short track racing. Welcome to the show, Bryan.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're really thrilled to have you. I have lots of questions for you about this famous Chili Bowl. And I understand that you raised quite a bit of money for the Autism Society of America, over $40,000, I think you said. Can you tell us a little bit about racing and your background and kind of give us a little introduction?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up racing. I started racing when I was 5 years old. I grew up around it. My dad had raced when I was younger, and so it was kind of in my blood from the beginning. And started when I was 5 and kind of worked my way up the ranks, and have raced pretty much any type of race car you can imagine, from short track, dirt track racing, sprint cars and midgets to some NASCAR stuff to the Indy 500. So
Wow.
it's been a lot of fun. I've been fortunate in my young career to be able to do a lot of cool things, and then being involved with some great events like our Racers for Autism event that we did in Tulsa.
Sure.
It was based around the Chili Bowl, which is a huge short track event. It's kind of our short track Indianapolis 500. We have 300 cars. Thousands of people come to it, and it's kind of our crown jewel event that we shoot for. So we put together, myself, my girlfriend, and one of my car owners put together an event, Racers for Autism, and did it down in Tulsa, and like I said, we were able to raise $40,000 for the Autism Society, which was really cool for me, and we were really we're excited to be a part of the Autism Society and what they're about. The message of acceptance and living with dignity and things like that is kind of a little bit different than some of the other organizations. Was special, and what made us excited to be a part of it.
Okay, well, I agree with you. The message for the Autism Society of America is a great one about living with dignity and helping adults with autism to have better lives. And it seems like the Chili Bowl was kind of a passion for you, this event that helped raise, like you said, over $40,000. For those who don't know about the Chili Bowl, give us a little bit of background about why that building is so special. When you say you won the Golden Driller Trophy, it's actually a picture of a man who's an oil driller. And I want you to tell us about this freestanding building and the fact that 50,000 people go to this event. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's an event like no other. It's held in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places, kind of the middle of the country, in the dead of winter. And what is special about this place is it's all done indoors. It's held in the largest freestanding building in the country, the Tulsa Expo Center. They actually. Before they decided to turn it, well, it's not a racetrack all the time, but before they had the idea of turning it into a racetrack, they used it for working on oil riggers and things like that. So huge building. They actually fit a 5-mile track, about 20 to 25,000 seats of temporary stands, and a couple hundred rigs and 300 race cars in this building. So it's a site like none other, and it's a really cool event. It's a week long in January. I think this year it's January 11th through the 16th, and it's just
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And you get to eat chili.
And there's always
chili
food.
cook-off.
Yep, absolutely. So there's always all kinds of stuff going on, and it's a big week for us. And it's a lot of people come from everywhere throughout the country. So that was kind of one of the reasons we decided to kind of base our event around the Chili Bowl is that we had people and fans and racers from everywhere coming in, and it was a good time to gather all together and support a great cause.
Now, you used to race NASCAR. You've done everything from NASCAR to what they affectionately call these little cars, midget cars, which are on dirt for short track racing. Which do you prefer? Does your heart have a passion for one or the other?
Yeah, obviously, the limelight and the spotlight's a little bit bigger on the NASCAR and the Indy 500, but there's something pure about short track racing. Traveling the country, I race up to 120, 130 times a year. From city to city and seeing all these great little towns throughout the country. There's just something about that's pure and a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people, even some guys that are racing at higher levels, they yearn to come back. Obviously, if they could have the same paycheck and race short track,
Sure.
they'd do it because it's just a lot more fun. But I feel pretty fortunate to be able to make a career out of it and be able to do what I love. So.
Well, using your notoriety as a racer, obviously you have a big fan base, and you actually have a connection to someone very close to you who's on the spectrum. A friend of yours, very close friend of yours.
Yeah, my friend Ben. We've been
Tell
friends since high school. He's on the spectrum, and he's been a big part of my life. Not only obviously through school and that, but after that, he's my biggest fan, my number one fan. We spend a lot of time together, and he's taught me so much. I think I learned as much from him as he learns from me, and it's been a really cool relationship. And there's nobody more honest with me than Ben. And
we all need that.
Exactly.
That friend who's going to be brutally honest.
Exactly. It's a unique relationship, but one that's been a bright spot for me.
Was your close relationship with Ben what initially was the the reason for you becoming involved with the Autism Society of America and maybe taking that next step toward really fundraising and spreading the word?
Absolutely. When Ben and I first met, I didn't even really know what autism was, and still to this day, after years, I'm still learning and get to sit in on different things and learn about the spectrum and about autism. And obviously, throughout the years, I've learned a lot about through Ben and our relationship. But every day something new, and it's been a lot of fun and very rewarding. But certainly, obviously being in a point in my life where I can reach a lot of people. Autism is something that's touched my life, and if I can spread that message and help bring awareness and that, make it kind of more on the forefront of people's minds. That's what we wanted to do.
Absolutely. So a quick question. I think were here when we interviewed Dr. Grandin, and she talked about parents sort of coddling kids these days and the need to really push them. You have the unique perspective of being someone's best friend and not having that a different close connection, but not having the parent sort of helicopter parent guidance that goes on. So as a best friend, what's different, or what advice would you give other friends to people on the spectrum in being the best friend possible? What would you say now with all these years of experience?
Yeah, I think it's even having a lot of years of experience, like I said, every day is a learning day. Okay. But there's obviously two things. I think one is patience, and two is continuing to push. Continuing to push them. I think it's easier for myself to go in and stretch the limits of what Ben's comfortable with, whether it be trying new food or meeting new people or different situations. You learn kind of the boundaries and situations that he's uncomfortable with, and you try to help him through those, because he's as smart as I am, probably smarter, or any of us. It's just learning to deal through the icebreakers. That seems to be the kind of the hardest part, is getting through the icebreaker. Once you get through that, he's just one of the guys, or just same as you and I, and you see that a lot. We go through our relationship, and there's obviously good days and bad days, but for the most part, I don't even think of him as being autistic anymore, because we've become so comfortable with one another that relationship is easy. Obviously, as we get into bigger social settings, he goes to a lot of races with me. He was with me at Indianapolis for the 500. He was, goes to the Chili Bowl every year with me. That presents some challenges and different things, but you learn to work through them and continue to push them, because they are. They do have it inside of them.
Absolutely.
It's just trying to draw it out.